Laser sights enhance and maintain your accuracy in a time of crisis, preventing tunnel vision and allowing quick target acquisition in awkward shooting positions. Crimson Trace, making laser sight standard equipment. Learn more at crimsontrace.com.
Welcome back to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, live from the FN booth at the NRA show.
All right, we are back with you. Tom Gresham here. We're at the FN booth at the NRA's annual meetings. They also call it the NRA show. There are the annual meetings. There's a whole bunch of meetings and workshops and things that go on. And then there's this huge exhibit hall where gun makers, people who make guns, optics, leather, holsters, ammo, everything, actually anything involved with the firearms industry there. They have booths. You can see the stuff here. You can't buy the guns, but a lot of times you can go in some of the booths and actually buy accessories and things like that. So that's taking place as well. This is the third day of the show. Things are thinning out a little bit. It's kind of toward the end of the show here. And it's a chance for us to talk with some interesting people from the firearms industry. Zach Hine joins us right now from CZ. Appreciate you staying over from the last hour, Zach.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
All right. Now, you said we're talking about CZ. You have actually been over to Europe where the factory there, right?
Correct. So CZ is out of the Czech Republic.
Right.
It used to be Czechoslovakia.
Right.
And they're kind of tucked away. They're kind of, if people think of the Czech Republic, they think of Prague, which is beautiful. But this is kind of on the other end of the country. This is wine country down south and east.
It's supposed to be a beautiful country.
It's gorgeous.
You like
gorgeous.
it, don't you?
It surprisingly feels like a little bit hillier Kansas, and that's where we call home here.
You're a Kansas boy, aren't you?
I am. Our headquarters right now is in Kansas City, Kansas.
But you came from Western Kansas.
I did. I came from Western Kansas, and it feels pretty homey
you
there.
Grew up hunting?
Grew up hunting, grew up shooting. I was big in the 4-H shooting sports.
Oh, okay.
And so that's kind of a passion of mine is trying to get more young folks into it. So
one of the things I'm thinking about CZ pistols. One of the things I think about, we talk about during the break, and you said you get the questions all the time, is I think CZ, I think Jeff Cooper worked with CZ with a 10 millimeter, got the Bren 10. It's kind of this whole wrapped around. But one of the reasons he went there is he was a huge fan of the CZ pistol, as I remember.
Yep. So it was the platform itself that appealed to him. It was the DASA operation, the capacity, just basically the operational, the things that made it what it was. So a CZ75 was one of the first double stack 9mm, great ergonomics, which even to this day, people will pick up that pistol and go, oh, it fits my hand.
Well, people will say it's a little bit 1911-ish.
Yeah, and then it's got some more contours, and it's just a little more.
It's like a little bit more advanced. But, that was 1911, and this was what 1930s, 1940s.
1975 for this one.
Oh, 75.
Yeah, so this was quite a ways down the road.
Oh, sure.
And with that double stack, you got a little wider grip, and they contour it just right. And so that's kind of one of those things. Even on our modern pistols, we're still kind of always trying to harken back to that design and how that gun feels in your hand.
Okay.
So it's easy when you have a beginning point that's that good.
Sure.
It's easy to kind of pull from your past because it's such a great design.
All right. So you guys make a whole line of handguns. You also have a whole line of shotguns.
We do. So we're actually one of the few full line firearms manufacturers nowadays. So. A huge number of pistols. We have a whole line of shotguns from target models to field models. We've got turkey guns. We've got over-unders that are for 3.5-inch waterfowl.
Over-unders, semi-autos, single-barrel trap guns.
Yep.
Side-by-sides?
Side-by-sides, pumps.
Yep.
We debuted at SHOT Show this year. We debuted a pump or a side-by-side that we've been asked to bring back for a couple years now. So a straight grip, double trigger, side-by-side in 12, 20, and 28.
Oh, wow.
And the best part is we worked really hard on our factories. MSRP on those is just under $700.
Oh, that's crazy.
So, and for the money, if you pick that gun up, you will be amazed at the quality.
And those are made in the Czech Republic?
Those are made in Turkey.
Okay, I was going to ask this.
We have a factory. We've been the exclusive importer for our factory since 2003.
Okay.
And so nobody else brings those in. Turkish shotguns can kind of run the gamut, and some people love them, know what they can be. Other people have had bad experiences. We have one factory that we have been with for a very long time that has done amazing work for us. We've really grown that into an incredible shotgun for the money.
Tell me about your rifles.
So the rifles, we do a full line of those also. We do everything from rimfire rifles up to big bore dangerous game guns.
Right.
And so probably what most people know us for are going to be our rimfire rifles. we launched our new line of rimfire rifles this year.
Right.
So the 4.57. I think we have a dozen different versions of it. We'll probably have a dozen more next year as we bring more into the line.
I got a buddy who's a target shooter, serious target shooter, and he buys that rifle like several at a time because that's the one when he's got kids who wants to start out shooting or anything else, and he's serious about it. It has to shoot well.
Yeah.
And they're accurate, but they also have, the real key to me, is a good trigger.
Yep. So the triggers on our 4.57s are even better than what he's probably dealt with before.
Okay.
So a fully adjustable, it's you're able to take out the creep, adjust the over travel, and the poundage.
Wow.
And then there will also be more options coming. I know there are a couple folks here at the show that make aftermarket triggers that we've been talking to them to that it'll be even better, even more options.
Threaded barrel option?
A lot of them.
Yeah,
we
and
do.
You said you make suppressors now.
We do, yeah. And our rimfire is probably the biggest standout in our entire line. So it's a aluminum rimfire suppressor, weighs in at 2.5 ounces.
What?
Yeah, so it is super lightweight. Has a patent pending design, basically thread-in baffles.
See, man, that's my squirrel gun. I'm telling you, that would be a great squirrel rifle.
Wonderful squirrel rifle. In fact, I just got back from a squirrel hunt with a guy named Kevin Murphy.
Okay.
And he's gained the moniker of the world's greatest small game hunter.
No kidding.
Yeah, he's a nut. But we actually took our 4.57s out, suppressed.
Yeah.
He's been hunting in the LBL, the Land Between the Lakes, for 52 years.
I've hunted squirrels in the LBL.
And he's been doing it that long. He does it on horseback. He does it all different ways.
Wow.
Runs squirrel dogs, and he had never in all those 52 years shot a suppressed 22.
Ah.
You should have seen that guy.
Oh, God, he's happy as he could be. Because, you can shoot him, you don't disturb anything, and the thing is, then you can shoot another, and then you can shoot another because they didn't hear it.
Well, and for him, he's been shooting 22s in the woods for this long. What hearing he has left, he wants to keep.
That's a good point.
And the best part is, as he's bringing in new hunters and new shooters, he's able to bring those kids in, and they don't have to wear hearing protection.
Right.
Because you're getting that report of that shot down from 140 decibels way down to 114.
Right.
So it changes the game on introducing kids to shooting
right.
too. So
now you also make centerfire bolt action guns.
We do. Yeah.
A big line.
Yep. So our 5.27 line is our kind of our micro Mauser. So it uses a claw-style Mauser action, which a lot of people are familiar with,
sure.
but on a micro size. So everything from 17 Hornet up to like 6.5 Grendel and 7.62 by 3.9.
That's just cool.
And it's a
external claw Mauser extractor.
Yep.
That's nice.
Yeah, and it's a gun that's been in the line a very long time. It kind of has a cult following, and especially the ones that shoot like 7.62 by 3.9 is probably one of the most popular because you can get cheap steel ammo and link to your heart's content.
And then on the other end, you make big Mausers.
We do, yeah. So we make everything up to, I think the one that we've been doing the last few years that's pretty big is a 550 Magnum, and that sucker, oof.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot of that to be enough.
I think about halfway up the line is about where I want to stop as far as the size.
I hear you.
A 4.16 is enough for me.
Yeah, but if you're looking for a 3.75, 4.16, something like that, and you like the whole Mauser action, which is proven throughout history, this is a great way to go.
Yeah, and honestly, if you've been to Africa, you've probably run into a PH that had one of our guns in his rack. So the old Bernots, back when it was marketed under the Bernot name, those are still riding around in racks, 30, 40, 50 years later.
Huh, interesting. So all right, so you got all of this and more coming?
Oh, always.
Yeah? So do you wait till like SHOT Show, or do you just roll them out whenever they're ready?
Typically we try to wait till SHOT Show. We'll do some teasers in the fall. Okay. We actually released a handful of new ones this here at this show. Mm-hmm. So sometimes we'll do a mid-year release. So one of our most popular platforms the last few years is the Scorpion. So it's a 9mm pistol caliber carbine.
A lot of buzz about that.
Some pistols, some carbines. Our micro is a real big hit the last few years. And here at the show, at SHOT Show, Magpul released a bunch of accessories that were built for it.
Okay.
And so here at this show, we're pretty proud to release a version of that Scorpion that from the factory comes with all sorts of Magpul goodies.
Really?
Yep.
Sweet. And is that available? People can see it on the website now?
It'll be up here shortly. We got the guns put together, photos taken.
Just barely in time to hit the show.
Just before the show.
That's always the way. It's like we always talk about, the catalogs are here, but the ink is still wet.
Yes.
That's exactly right. So, all right, the website is cz-usa.com?
It is.
All right, cz-usa.com. Check it out. full line of guns with a rich history, really well-made stuff. Thanks so much for spending some time with us, man.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
This is great. All right, don't go far. We'll be right back with more Gun Talk.
For more than 70 years, Timney Triggers has been enhancing the shooter's experience. Whether it's a local competition, a day at the range, or even the hunt of a lifetime. Setting the standard in aftermarket triggers, Timney is now producing more than 170 models of triggers for bolt-action rifles, shotguns, AR rifles, and semi-automatic rifles. Proudly made in the USA since 1946. Find your new trigger at timneytriggers.com.
Attacks happen every day. How will you react? See real people put into real-life criminal attack situations on First Person Defender. Discover what works and what doesn't. Kidnapping, ATM robbery, home invasion, and other attacks. Learn how to save your life and the lives of your family. Get the entire first season on DVD at shopguntalk.com. Get prepared. Shopguntalk.com.
Hi, this is Tom Gresham from Gun Talk. America is losing critical wildlife habitat at a rate of 1 football field every hour. It's happening on the Louisiana coast, but it's critical to all sportsmen and conservationists. These precious wetlands provide winter habitat for more than 10 million ducks and geese annually, waterfowl that migrate north through dozens of states. Don't shrug it off. Get involved. You can help. Visit vanishingparadise.org.
Tactical professionals who put their lives on the line every day depend on Surefire. Since 1979, Surefire has designed, machined, and assembled the finest flashlights, weapon-mounted lights, hearing protection, and suppressors right here in the U.S. Surefire, offering a best-in-class warranty and customer service, and used by more military special operations, SWAT teams, and hard-use end users than any other brand. Surefire, American-built, American-strong. Visit Surefire.com. That's Surefire.com.
Whether you carry it on your hip or in your hands, when it's from Springfield Armory, your gun is a part of the legendary line, the great 1911 pistols, the innovative XD, XDM, and XDS pistols for competition and defense, the new 911 carry pistol, guns you can count on. Shooters everywhere rave about the Saint pistols and rifles, and of course, the mighty M1A battle rifle. Check out the latest at springfield-armory.com.
All right, back with you here. Tom Gresham, it is Gun Talk. We're at the FN booth, joined by Tom Victor. Tom, we had Adam Vinatieri on here just a little while ago, and he spent a lot of time in your booth. He was great with the kids. He's just, you could tell this guy has a passion for shooting and for hunting. Just a great guy, man.
Yeah, first, I personally just wanted to thank him, and I know our company does as well. So a lot of people don't know Adam's really big into hunting. And he actually runs a record-breaking ranch down in central Missouri.
Yeah.
And if you want to go on pretty much one of the epic kind of whitetail hunts,
no kidding.
He's the guy to see. So
what's the name of it?
It's Record-Breaking Ranch.
Record-Breaking Ranch.
Yeah, you can find out more at recordbreakingranch.com.
Oh,
Keeps it easy. He kicks the field goals, takes you on big whitetail hunts.
So you could go out with a very soon to be, I'm sure, as soon as he retires, he gets lined up. He'll be a first pick Hall of Famer without a doubt.
I can't imagine any other way.
Exactly. All right, you brought us some cool things to take a look at here. We're in the FN booth. You got FN guns for us. When you and I were talking, I want to talk just for a moment about. I am absolutely, and you're a competitive shooter. We ought to let people know that.
I dabble. I wouldn't say I'm super competitive.
No, okay, but you still shoot.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the value of red dot sights and what they do for you. You might just touch on that for a sec, because you guys have a good platform for that.
Yeah, so in my personal opinion, red dot sights, they're the future, right? And you see it in competition, and we're seeing it expand everywhere. But I don't think that's any surprise that the top level guys, they're all shooting red dots. So what does that say?
Yeah, whenever they say, okay, you can shoot whatever you want, they all go to red dots.
Absolutely. So, and what's actually interesting is now we see a lot of the newer shooters, and maybe it's from video games, maybe it's from other things, but newer shooters are learning much, much faster with red dots. So
Well, when you think about it, how easy is it? When we're trying to explain to people, okay, you got this blade up here, you got this notch back here, and you got to put the blade somewhere in the notch and get them lined up, and then you have to focus on the target, but then you have to bring your focus back to the front sight. And they say, wait, how about if I just put the red dot on the thing and pull the trigger?
Absolutely. I always liken it to like learning to drive, right? I learned to drive on a manual, so now everything's easy.
Right.
But you're like, all right, I got to think about the clutch, I got to think about the gas, and then I ran into the mailbox. there's just too much going on.
It occupies headroom.
Exactly.
That's what we were talking about earlier. Mm-hmm. And if you can do away with some of the headroom, you can actually use that space in your head to problem solve in the middle of a plate rack or in a defensive situation to solve the problem.
Absolutely. And that's what's nice about the red dot. So normally you got to look at the front sight and you're looking at your target and you kind of see the rear. With the red dot, you look at your target.
Yes.
And you can see your target the whole time. You don't have to worry about focusing back and forth.
The dot just appears above the target or over the target, and you're good to go.
Absolutely.
Which gun is that you have in your hand, by the way?
This is the 509 Tactical.
Okay.
So a little history on the red dots with FN. We kind of started the OEM red dot thing about a decade ago. We introduced a plate system that people found on the F&P 45 Tactical and now the FNX 45, and it's very similar to what a lot of people do today.
Right.
Probably should have patented that one.
Looking back, you're thinking that would have been good.
Well, the problem was with that system, it has a little shortcoming. So when we said, hey, you know what, we're going to work on the military handgun, red dots of the future, what's the next generation red dot system?
Right.
That's where we came up with the 509 Tactical.
Okay. Great pistol. All right, but you brought something else here. Is this like brand new?
Yeah, so this is the one we launched in January, so right around SHOT Show earlier this year.
Right.
So we launched the 509 actually 2 years ago at NRA. I think we probably talked about it here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is like, if I remember right, it's like 1 million rounds through this thing, or it's 100,000 rounds. It's like some crazy number.
It's like the Energizer Bunny now. It just keeps...
It goes and goes, yeah.
Exactly. So we launched the Tactical in 2018, in summer 2018. This came out January 2019. And what this size is, and this is very similar to the 509, it just has a lot of little improvements.
Okay.
And then the key real takeaway feature when you look spec for spec is now we have the 4-inch 15-round gun.
Okay.
And that's very similar to a lot of the popular models you can find.
Sure. That 4-inch barrel, 15-round gun is kind of a real sweet spot for carry. Mm-hmm. Whether you want to go outside the waistband or inside the waistband, you can carry this one. Even appendix. I don't know that there would be a problem with that.
Yeah, no, this is actually the gun that I carry.
Is it?
Yep, absolutely.
Do you carry appendix?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And for me, what's great about it, and it all depends on your hands, right? But
sure.
I know that people can't see this, but now I have a firing grip on the gun, and the grip is everything. All my fingers are on the grip and not off the grip. So it's the smallest gun that I can get a full grip on.
Okay, I see what you're saying, because now you don't have a finger hanging out in the wind, but at the same time, you don't have gun hanging out beyond your grip.
Exactly.
It is the right length for your grip. It gives you all you need, but nothing more.
Yeah, so for me, this is like my do-all gun. So it is a little larger on the concealed carry side, but on appendix, I can conceal it well. Mm-hmm. But then if I want to take it to the range or just go have fun with my friends, I can take this out just like a 509 or a Tactical.
Now, are there extended capacity mags available for this?
Yeah, so this is the first size extension in the 509 family.
Right.
Logic would say there's probably more to come.
You think?
But all the magazines will go in there. So it ships with the 15-round mags, but you can put the 17-round mags and then the 24-round mags as well.
Right.
We recommend a drip sleeve. Just helps make sure that you don't over-insert it, but they all function fine.
Oh, okay. Sweet. Now, this is striker fired?
Yep. So the whole 509 family, striker fired. Just get it out of the way. Striker fired, full ambi control. So you have push button left and right on the mag catch. Full ambi, slide stop, good cocking serrations front and rear.
What kind of sight options do we have here?
I'm sorry, slide?
Sights.
Sights? Oh, okay. So the LE guns ship with the 3-dot night sights.
Right.
These are like photoluminescent, so it's
very bright front side. I'm looking at it from all the way over here. The thing just glows.
Yeah, so what's great about it is, just in this lighting here, it'll hold the charge overnight. So a lot of people like the night sights because, it's the pump in the dark and you can see your gun.
Right.
You can get the same effect with this for far cheaper. So.
It's just less expensive.
Absolutely.
And so you don't have to charge this up. Basically, just room light will charge it. Mm-hmm. You put it away, and then when you pick it up in the middle of the night, that front sight's going to be glowing.
You can see your front sights.
That's pretty neat.
And maybe some people keep it in a nightstand or in a little safe. And if you want, you can just hit it with a flashlight for 10 seconds.
I was just thinking that. The flashlight we're all carrying, right? Just light it up for a little while. 10 seconds or so, you think?
10 seconds with those new flashlights are so high output. I mean, you're looking into the
crazy.
sun.
Yeah, it is crazy and cheap.
Yes.
I mean, there are people giving them away in the booths around here. It's kind of nuts.
Well, when you get some, pass some to me.
Yeah, that's right. See, you're like me. I'm going, okay, all right, this is true. Look at this. I got 2 flashlights in my pocket, all right?
There you
because
go. I love that new little Surefire, or the Streamlight.
Oh, yes.
USB chargeable.
Oh, God, this is crazy. Yeah. Somebody showed me this the other day, and I went, I'm buying that right now. I went in and just bought it. Mm-hmm. It's not like I don't already have flashlights, right? We all have those. So you got to have your flashlight, you have to have your knife, you have to have a pistol, you have to have extra mag.
Yeah, and pretty soon you're going to have your red dot pistol. So that's really
that's where I'm moving, and I am absolutely moving there for a carry pistol.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's actually so. I have mine modified. Don't tell customer service. No, but I have a red dot mounted on mine.
Do you? Okay.
That is, in my opinion, the future. We're seeing it. We saw it in competition. Now we're seeing it. What was great about NRA, and I love NRA because you get to speak to all kinds of customers from all over the place.
Right.
Is I remember when red dot pistols were only for those competition guys.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Literally today, I had 10, we'll just say, more experienced gentlemen come up to me and asked about red dots.
Yeah, people with eyes like mine now, and that's where we are.
Hey, I have glasses too, so
yeah.
I completely
We're
understand.
all going there. We're all on the same trail. We're just different places along the trail.
Absolutely.
All right,
absolutely.
People want to find out more about FN, about all the cool guns you guys are doing. What's the best place?
Just go straight to the website. So our website's fnamerica.com. You can learn more about the whole 509 family, all the machine guns, stars, belt fed.
Very cool stuff. Yeah, I mean, you guys got really cool stuff. fnamerica.com, that'll work. Tell you what, we might be able to get you back in. We'll see, we'll see if we can shoehorn you back in. We've got a lot of folks lined up. We've got a lot of things going on. We're going to be doing a big announcement in just a minute of a big sweepstakes contest thing we've been doing with FN. So we'll have that. So I don't want people to go away. I don't want them to miss that. But thank you, sir. I appreciate you spending some time with us, Tom.
All right. Appreciate having me on.
All right. Don't go far, okay? We'll do this when we come back. All right. Tom Gresham here. This is Gun Talk. Be right back.
Welcome back to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, live from the FN booth at the NRA show.
All right, and we are back. We're at the FN booth at the NRA show in Indianapolis. We're having a bunch of fun here. We're joined by more friends. Got Ryan Gresham just joined us. We got Julie Golob over here, and it's kind of like old home week because we've been doing video and stuff together for a long, long time now, guys.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit, exactly right. And Ryan, you come blowing in here with an announcement.
Yeah, I just barge in and interrupt everything, but it's for a good cause, for a good reason.
Uh-huh.
Well, what we have, and we've been talking about this for probably 5 or 6 weeks now. We have this huge giveaway, and this one's a big one because one person is going to win everything.
Everything.
What is winner take all?
What is everything?
What is everything? Well, we've got optics and rangefinders from ATN. We've got a custom 1911 from Auto Ordnance. We've got a crossbreed holsters kit. We've got an FN 509 tactical pistol.
Okay, cool.
We've got Gun Storage Solutions kit to organize your gun safe. We got a custom Glock from Lone Wolf. We've got proper gear. We've got Remington prize pack with shotgun and it's the TAC 14 and some other goodies. We've got a Stag Arms rifle.
I know.
Can
I still enter?
I know. It's just ridiculous.
It goes on and on and on.
Tandem cross kits for 22s, Smith & Wesson 22 Victories, Mark IV, all kinds of stuff, Buckmark. And we're throwing in a Ruger Mark IV rimfire. So all of that goes to one person. Who is it?
Drum roll. To win.
Sandy M. from Portland, Oregon is the winner. And we will Sandy. We'll be contacting Sandy, and hopefully you'll answer your email.
We don't know
because,
your name is Sandy.
That's right. We don't know
if
Sandy is a man or a woman. Either way, Sandy's going to be a happy shooter.
That's right. And if you're in Portland and you get some kind of communications from Gun Talk,
pay attention.
You might want to answer.
You might want to answer that one because this is like a whole safe full of stuff.
So that's it. That's what I'm here for.
Okay.
Now you guys can talk about important stuff.
Okay. You need to leave now.
Bye-bye then.
So how's the show been for you?
Show is awesome. Little pro tip, in case this is a secret, don't share with anybody else. But the last couple hours of the NRA show,
Oh, it's magic.
the companies
Magic hour.
don't want to bring stuff home.
Right. No. This is the golden hour.
Except for the firearms.
Right. Firearms, hey, they're going to go home with them. But,
that's right.
The soft goods stuff, range bags and little holsters that they're selling, you might be able to pick up a sweet deal, right?
Oh, a very sweet deal.
Yeah, because who wants to lug all that stuff back?
Yeah.
Well, you. Maybe.
Oh,
So not you,
true.
but...
Yeah, but
that's true. Not the people who brought it,
No.
but somebody else.
Little
That's
pro
right.
tip for you. And if you didn't make it out this year, you got to come next year. It's going to be in Nashville.
Nashville's so much fun.
It's a
so
fun
cool.
town. And Indianapolis is awesome as well.
It is.
Indiana's been great.
I love this
it's
town.
been interesting. I didn't know enough about Indianapolis, and it's actually we've got the family here. Ryan's kids are here, and they've been doing museums, and they've got the percussion museum where you get to go beat on drums and do all the fun stuff. And I mean, it's really a cool town.
It is.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, so
And good food, too.
Great host.
yes, exactly right.
Yes.
Fun stuff. All right, so Ryan is leaving now.
Hi, Ryan.
Bye.
Go get some of those deals.
That's right. That's right. He's going to go take a cardboard box and fill it up. All right. So Julie Golob, professional shooter, former AMU.
Yes.
Way back in the Army, in your Army days.
No, way back. I mean,
I'm
no,
sorry.
you
Did
can
I
say
do
way
that?
back. It's all
I've
good.
known you from way back.
I know.
Okay.
We do go way back.
All right. So professional shooter, full-time professional shooter.
Yes.
That's what you do. That's your job.
That's my job.
Isn't that cool?
It's very cool.
Do you sometimes wake up and think, I don't believe I have this job?
Every day, almost. It's such an amazing thing to be able to do what you love and be around the people that we see on the ranges everywhere and in the shows. It's fantastic.
So what is your day like? What's your week life as a professional shooter? What do you do?
So a lot of it is cyclical. So obviously we start our year with SHOT Show. So
Okay.
it's preparing for that. Maybe it's spending time with manufacturers before their launches, that sort of thing.
Right.
And then spring hits, and that's training season.
Okay.
So it's a few warm-up matches to figure out how things are going and what we need to work on, that sort of thing. And then the full season kicks in, and it's almost nonstop.
So you're doing matches all the time once it kicks in.
Quite a bit, yeah. From March to the end of October, it can be pretty busy.
Do you practice like between matches, or do you just go to matches?
Anytime I can get on the range, I will. So
Really?
in the heat of the season, when there's a major nationals coming up, I'll be on the range anywhere from 3 to 4 times a week, at least a couple of hours. And it's important to be able to evaluate those areas that you need to improve on, and then also be in that competition mode, ready to go. Because if you only shoot matches all the time, you're never going to be able to practice on the things that you need to work on in between.
After you finish a match, do you have an idea of, okay, that's something I need to go do? You come away from a match and go, okay, this was an area I was a little weak on, or I was a little off, or whatever.
Absolutely. In the practical shooting sports, for example, you may never shoot the same thing twice. And so, therefore, if maybe you have a course of fire where it's, full weak hand shooting,
Right.
and that one didn't go so well. So
Right.
guess what you're going to do when you get home?
Sure. One of the things that occurs to me is that a lot of people go to the range to practice, big air quotes around practice, and all they're doing is flinging rounds down
Sure.
range. Just bang, 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 bang. I was practicing. That's not what you do.
No, it's funny because as a pro shooter, of course, I get my ammunition and my firearms and my gear, and all of that is there for me.
Right.
But I view every single round downrange as like a dollar bill. Every single time it counts so much because I need to make everything count so that I can perform at that level that I need to at the major competitions.
It is an opportunity, and if you don't take advantage of the opportunity of every trigger press, you either improved or you wasted that time.
Absolutely.
And it's time.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people ask me, do you just go to the range for fun? And it's so ingrained. It's like range time is
You don't know how to-
office time.
Yeah.
So there's always something you can work on.
At the same time, it's not that it's work and you don't enjoy it.
But no.
It's work that you really enjoy.
Yes.
But you're always working when you're shooting.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's true, but it's something that you love. It's you either have that competitive nature to constantly excel, or you just do it for fun. No matter what it is, it's a great experience.
All right, hold on a second. We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit about you have been doing this outreach program. You help people get involved in shooting sports and all that, kind of what's going on there, okay?
Great,
all right, talk with Julie Golob. We're in the FN booth at the NRA's annual meetings. Of course, Julie, Team Smith and Wesson, and
another good blue.
Everybody else. There you go. All right, we'll be right back with more Gun Talk.
Whether you are a first-timer or seasoned shooter, Double Star has the guns, edged weapons, and parts you desire. Our products are made in America and held to the highest quality standards. No exceptions. Double Star and Ace Limited manufactures products people bet their lives on without hesitation. That awesome responsibility motivates the Double Star family, and it will proudly protect yours. When you're ready for the best, join our family at star15.com. That's star15.com.
Built for personal and home protection, the Smith & Wesson M&P 380 Shield EZ pistol features an easy-to-load magazine with load assist button, an easy-to-rack slide, and the M2.0 crisp trigger and enhanced grip texture. With its easy-to-rack, easy-to-pack, and easy-to-shoot design, the M&P 380 Shield EZ is perfectly sized 380 protection. Find out more at smith-wesson.com.
Perhaps more than any other landscape, wetlands embody the life-giving abundance that nature has to offer. And perhaps more than any other organization, Ducks Unlimited is working to ensure that our continent's wetlands not only survive, but thrive for generations well beyond this one. The time is now to band together. The time is now to rescue our wetlands.
The next big thing for the AR-15 has arrived. The Brownells BRN 180 Upper. A modernized version of the Armalite AR-180, featuring a 16-inch barrel, a 223 wild chamber, and a full-length pick rail. The BRN 180 skips the buffer system to allow complete function of the firearm with the stock folded or extended. Best of all, the Brownells BRN 180 mounts to any mil-spec AR lower. Visit brownells.com today.
This is Jeff with Black Hills Ammunition. Shooters looking for ultimate performance and 300 blackout will be pleased with our new 110-grain tip TSX load. This round performs well through tough barriers such as car doors and windshields, making it a great choice for police patrol rifles. It also provides superior performance on whitetails and monster hogs. This round is a great all-around thermal performer. Black Hills Ammunition, the power of performance.
All right, back with you, Tom Gresham here, Gun Talk at the FN booth, NRA Annual Meetings here, visiting with Julie Golob from Team Smith & Wesson and a whole bunch of other logos on your shirts here. Who are you representing these days?
Federal Premium, Safariland, Trijicon. Those are my primary sponsors.
What events do you shoot in?
So I start my season out with NRA Bianchi Cup.
Okay.
And that ends in May.
It's just like a hard one to start with. That's a really challenging event.
It is, and then I switch over to practical shooting in the back end of the year. So
okay.
USPSA and IPSC.
Right. Okay. Now you're not doing 3-gun, right?
I am not. No.
Okay.
No. It's funny because when I first started, everybody did everything, right?
Sure.
Everybody shot Steel Challenge, USPSA. They did a little 3-gun here and there.
Right.
But now we're finding there are so many great shooters out there that you have to specialize. And you have to pick a division or a platform and stick with it all the way through.
Now, are you doing revolvers at all?
I did a couple years ago. I haven't been back. Yeah. I love that 929.
I was telling somebody, we talk about revolvers. And
sure.
I said, look, the thing about revolvers is there's something, if you will, sensual about it because it's so analog.
Yes.
It's like you're making the cylinder turn when you press the trigger and and I know it sounds goofy and weird, but there's just something special about shooting a revolver.
I have learned so much just from competing with the revolver.
Really?
And it's amazing because, you know how hard the course of fire is at Bianchi Cup.
Yeah.
But if you can hit an X-ring at 25 yards offhand with your revolver, you don't even think about it twice with your 1911,
sure.
right? So it's really good. You learn a lot about the fundamentals.
Huh.
And a lot of people take it for granted.
Yeah, interesting point. All right, so I see you're like the social media queen. You really know how to do it. You're on Facebook, you do all this stuff going.
I try.
One of the things I see you doing a lot is working with people and helping them get involved in the shooting sports, whether they're youngsters or adults.
Yeah.
Talk about that if you would.
I cut my teeth on that. It's where I got my start. I'm a daddy's girl. I fell in love with the concept of owning a gun because of competition.
Huh.
And, whatever the reason is that we're involved with the Second Amendment and why we believe in gun rights, that was it for me. It started there. And there's a shooting sport out there for everyone, whether you want to punch holes in the bullseye,
that's a great point.
whether you want to run and gun with 3 guns or 1 gun or whatever.
Right.
There's something for everyone, and that's really unique. And when you're looking at the world of sports. And so there's a lot out there.
It's also one of the very rare lifetime sports.
Yes.
I mean, you can do this competitively if you want to, at some level, as long as you can stand there and press the trigger.
Absolutely. And we've become so much more evolved with adaptive athletes, and we're able to see and make adjustments. You know, when I first started, it was all about how crazy, what you could bolt onto your gun to give you an advantage. Now we have production and stock gun divisions.
Right.
So you can go to a gun shop, buy whatever you want, and you can go out and compete with it. And it's amazing.
All right. I got a question for you. I'm older than you are. Eyes are older.
Sure.
Thinking about red dot sights on pistols.
Yeah.
For speed. When you really need real speed, I see the pros go into red dots when it's available.
Absolutely.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And a lot of people talk about co-witnessing, using the dot as a front sight. But I'll tell you what, once you get that dot zeroed, wherever you need to hit it on the target, as long as it's there, it's going to be there. And that kind of speed, you have to line anything up.
Right.
That's how you take it to the next level.
Because you really aren't having to go focus there, focus back here.
No.
You just look at the target, put the dot on it, and literally, for those who don't know, the dot can be anywhere within the circle. It doesn't matter if, but the dot's over on the side. Doesn't matter. Press the trigger.
No, especially with handguns. I mean, you don't have to deal with those parallax concepts or anything else. It's there, pull the trigger.
Yeah, and move on.
Yeah.
Can you, when you're shooting fast, do you see if the dot's not exactly where you want and adjust as you're making a run?
So it's funny. What we call it acceptable sight picture.
Okay.
So if the target's really close, let's say 3 yards, I don't need to see everything I need to see perfectly.
Okay.
But if I'm making a shot out at 25, 50, 35 yards, what have you, that's when I really need to stop and make sure everything's just right. And then I'm going to apply whatever pressure I need to on the trigger based on that shot. So,
what's the biggest mistake that people make in terms of just not being a good shot with a pistol?
You know, I think it's everything that they're doing in between pulling the trigger and lining up the sights.
What?
We talk about trigger control a lot,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, most people anticipate. They anticipate recoil.
Sure.
So if you're not hitting your target, whether it's high or low, it comes down to the fact that you're doing something in between that's making that sight go off the target. And
You're actually making an adjustment, a motion in the pistol before you press the trigger.
Exactly.
As a way of anticipating the recoil.
Yep. Whether it's, I'm going to guess that it's going to flip up, so I'm going to heel it.
I'm going to heel it.
Or I'm going to yank it down.
Yep.
Yep.
If you're shooting low left and you're a right-handed shooter, we have a pretty good idea what's going on.
And most people blame that on trigger control. But in actuality, they're doing far more to make that shot not hit.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. What's the best drill to get around that?
You know, it's all about learning the way your gun cycles. Like we anticipate the shot in speed shooting to a finite degree that we're actually controlling the recoil as the gun comes down.
Okay.
So it's just a matter.
As the gun is coming down from recoil, you're pressing the trigger to get it to go off just as it hits the right
That's
point.
the only way you can get .25 splits on a target.
Okay.
You know, you have to be so aware of what's going on. But a great drill is the common bill drill. 6 shots on a one target, see what you need to see, sights lift.
Right.
And that's how you learn to get the feel for the cycling of your own firearm, the recoil and all that.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we're going to have a couple of minutes. I want to talk just a little bit about the value of what you as a professional shooter do for Smith & Wesson, that feedback that you give, because you're doing some interesting things that the rest of us just don't have that. And you're, it's kind of the NASCAR model, if you will.
Yeah.
All right? Very good.
That'd be great.
All right. Also tell people right now, do that, where they can find out more about what you've been doing.
Oh, very simple. Just juliegolob.com. I have a blog there. You can find all my social media links, all that good stuff. Very easy.
And it's Golob.
Yep, JULAGOLOB.com.
That'll work. All right. Don't go anywhere, okay?
I won't.
We're going to do this. All right. Talking with Julie Golob from Smith & Wesson, one of my favorite pro shooters. You have been for a long time. We've worked with you for a long time. All right. We'll be right back in just a minute. I'm Tom Gresham, and this is Gun Talk.
Welcome back to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, live from the FN booth at the NRA show.
Well, gee, I guess we have to stop talking about guns so we can start talking about guns again. Talking with Julie Golob here. Julie, during the break, all we do is talk about guns and shooting and stuff we're doing and where we're going and things.
Yeah.
You're in this crazy time in spring where you're doing a lot of TV video shooting and all that. But at the same time, you got to get ready for the season, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So how do you work in your shooting in the middle of all this travel?
It's good to have distractions and to be able to share shooting and to give people advice through various different videos or television opportunities is a lot of fun. And so when I do get to the range, it's like, okay, I'm ready to be back. It's a good thing.
Okay, all right. We were talking before. The shooting team, Smith & Wesson shooting team.
Yeah.
You go out, you shoot their guns, you really ring them out. Talk about the process of feedback and what happens. I mean, what can you provide back to them as a pro shooter?
Sure. It's, competition shooters run guns hard. We're testing them under fast, hot conditions and everything else. So, fortunately, by the time the firearms reach the public, they've gotten to that point where they're very durable. They can, last towards your chests and stuff like that. So for me, to be able to give them feedback on something like, oh, okay, well, my recoil spring, this is how long this lasted and when it's typical. And so that's very valuable.
Because in a season, you're shooting more than most people shoot in a lifetime.
Sometimes,
I mean, really? What do you figure you shoot, 20, 30,000 rounds?
In a good year, it's anywhere between 35 and 50,000 rounds a year. Yeah.
That's a lot of shooting for most people.
I'm not complaining.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. Okay. So you factor that back in, and they incorporate that into their testing, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
They don't just automatically take that information, but they say, okay, let's take a look at this. What's going on here?
Right. No, and what's neat is I'm running the same competition guns for a long time. It's not like I get new ones every year because they're still running. So it's really good feedback.
Well, and once you get a gun that works for you, you really don't want to mess with it too much, do you?
Well, no. I mean, it's I'm shooting a lot of stock guns these days.
Okay.
But if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of thing.
Right. All right.
Change is sometimes not good.
All right. So you're a mom. You got a family.
Yeah.
Does everybody shoot?
So my youngest is 6. She's not quite there yet, but my oldest is 11, and we've been competing in rimfire challenge matches together. So it's really neat.
That's like the best, isn't it?
It is, and it reminds me of just growing up with my dad and all that time, and to be able to share that as a mother-daughter experience is pretty unique. But we have a good time. We have girls' weekend out. And it's a lot of fun.
And I know the 6-year-old is ready. She's just wanting to go. You just say, anytime now. Just wait.
Yeah, it's funny. Every kid is different.
Right.
And so our first rule with our children was, in order to shoot, got to learn the basic rules of firearm safety. That's what we need to know and understand them. And then after that, we gauge things. So my oldest daughter, she's like, oh, I just want to make the steel ring. This is great. Right. Whereas my youngest daughter, she may be a little bit like her mama, a little competitive, so she gets really frustrated. So I have to make sure that it's just the right thing, so it's always fun.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, which goes to, people always say, well, how old should my child be? Well, it depends on the child.
It depends. And you as a parent have to be honest. You have to be honest with yourself and say, is this the time? And you have to be able to say, oh, nope, this isn't the time, or yes, it is.
Right.
You have to be aware of that.
That's and you talk about those kind of things on your blog. Helping people understand that, helping mothers. What's it like to have a gun around, that type of thing. Yeah. So I love what you do. It's really terrific.
Thanks.
All right, so where are you off to next?
So, Bianchi Cup. Well, I'm coming down to see you. We're going to do some filming.
We're going to do Guns and Gear. We're going to do that.
Yeah, we're going to do that. And then Bianchi Cup, and then switch up to Carry Optics Division for USPSA.
And then you're just living on airplanes and just going like crazy.
Yeah, if I'm lucky, I can drive to a few of them.
That's true.
Driving is always easier.
It's so much easier, particularly when you can load all the guns in the back and just go. It's like this travel. Airlines and guns, it's possible, but it's a hassle.
It is.
Julie Golob, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Again, juliegolob.com if they want to know what you're up to, okay?
Yes.
Thank you, and we will see you in about 8-10 days, something like that. All right. Very good. All right, we are wrapping up the NRA show here. We're going to have another hour of gun talk. It is getting a little bit thin here on the floor. That's okay. There's still a bunch of us hanging around, and there are still deals to be had. If you're on the floor and you want to come see us, come by. FM Booth. I'm Tom Gresham. We'll be right back.